This was the episode that almost didn't happen because of a Bluetooth mouse. I bring you Superb Owl.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.
Welcome to DarkDox Digest. Today is Monday, February 10th, 2025, and we survived yet another Superb Owl. I am your host, Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.
Oh, that was a close one. That was close, my friends. So, welcome. I hope you guys had a great weekend, guys and gals and everything in between, I suppose. I am your host, Christian Coffins, and this show almost did not happen. What's up, Ben Data Battle Z? In the chat, the only one in the chat. Where is this Data Battle Z? Where? Okay, there we go. Data Battle Z. He's doing all of our YouTube shorts, so we really appreciate you. But yeah, I got this Bluetooth wireless mouse, and while I was getting ready for the show, it just decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna stop working, and so I tried plugging it in, and when I plugged it in, it disconnected, and for some reason, I got a MSI laptop, and my mouse is supposed to be a touchscreen and with like a stylus. Ooh, I gotta try using the stylus. Because, yeah, the touchscreen doesn't work. The mouse that comes on the laptop doesn't work. And it's a new laptop. I mean, I got this thing like, I don't know, a year and a half ago. It was like almost $2,000. Like, this is some bullshit, right? So I got this Bluetooth mouse, and it's funny. It's just like wireless. You just you charge it like a cell phone or whatever, as an internal battery, and you just forget about it. And then it's like when it stops working, you're like, I hit Windows. I had to hit Windows and like go to the settings, like just using the keyboard. And if you've never done that before, right before a show, it's a little panicking. But I'm here. I made it. Hopefully, this thing can live for another hour, and I'll give it a nice charge tonight. But yeah, Superb Owl. Let's learn about this human's ritual that they call the Superb Owl. Let's take a look.
We have been invited to a highly exclusive event. We will be spending this Sunday evening at our neighbor Sean's Superb Owl party.
Vampires have huge respect for owls. 1, they're nocturnal. 2, they're predators. And 3, they don't give a hoot where they dump their scat.
The party we're going to is celebrating the Superb Owl, who is the greatest owl of all time. Do you think we're going to get to touch its little beak?
It depends what mood he's in.
Yeah, I know it's a Super Bowl party, but I tried to correct them and they wouldn't listen.
That's the owl's egg.
Also, I didn't try all that hard.
If you don't know what that's from, What We Do in Shadows. It's a very funny British show about vampires with Matt Berry. But all joking aside, interesting things happened at the Super Bowl. Of course, Trump was there, and he got roars of applause and cheers, while Taylor Swift, not so much. And then, typically the halftime show is some kind of like pedophilic, New World Order, occult symbolism, pyramids, and a bunch of in a circle, all kinds of things. But no, this was a little different. Not like us, started as a diss, now it's a Super Bowl anthem. Kendrick Lamar and Drake spent Last spring, trading disses, the rapper unleashed a slew of increasingly brutal attack tracks, taking aim at each other's talent, parenting, race, among other sensitive subjects. It was until Lamar released Not Like Us that the verdict was rendered. Lamar had unequivocally won. Not Like Us is still taking a victory lap that began last May. Lamar final Drake diss topped the Billboard charts and became his first solo #1 single since 2017's Humble. At a surprise Juneteenth concert, Lamar performed the song 5 times to an arena full of fans who knew every word. Then, last week, he took home 5 Grammys for the track, including Song of the Year. And in the song, he actually disses Drake for being a pedophile. There's like a play on words about like, A minor for like, in music, and A minor is like a note. But, he was also using it as a double entendre for getting down with A minor. So, yeah. And other people noticed that he was kind of dressed like a Pokemon trainer. So that's why in the lower third we have the pedo-busting Pokemon Superb Owl. It's funny because I'm so out of the loop in most famous music that oh no, the mouse, not again. Oh, okay, hold on, I'm gonna turn it off and on again. Oh, this is bad. I'm gonna have to like do stand up here while I deal with this mouse issue. Hold on, I'm gonna give it a little bit more juice. This is bad form. And you can't use it while it's plugged in, which is the stupidest thing. I don't think so anyway. It'd be really cool if you could. I don't see why you can't. Please visit the concession stand. Our hosts and hostess are waiting to serve you. Come on, man. Do me a solid here and just live for a little longer. All right. All right. So, yeah. And Alex Jones also mentioned Not Like Us is also a double entendre because, it's saying that they're not like us, but also they don't like us, which I thought was kind of cool. If you haven't already and you're on YouTube, go ahead and smash that subscribe button for youtube.com/Sacred Owls, where we're doing this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, DarkDox Digest. What else we got going on here? Nope. And then that's for later. Well, that's a Super Bowl thing. Why not?
So the Eagles won the Super Bowl this year, and to celebrate, Pennsylvanians took to Philadelphia to completely destroy their own community. Because watching a bunch of dudes in spandex roll around on the grass together definitely gets me hyphy to destroy the place that I live. Hey guys, we did it! Hey! After they were done tearing light poles out of the ground, climbing on shit, setting shit on fire, assaulting cops and other citizens, literally a teenager died. It looked like this.
Oh, Jesus. Why do people do this?
What in the hell is actually wrong with y'all? I mean,
Seriously.
You guys won. Isn't that what you wanted? Then you destroyed local businesses, you torched your own streets, you ended up assaulting each... You guys are stupid, bro. And people ask me why I don't be leaving my house. So the Eagles won the Super...
I mean, seriously, this happens... And I can't even say it's an American phenomenon. I mean, this happens worldwide, like at soccer games and stuff. What the hell is wrong with you people? I mean, are you just fucking heathens? Are you just pieces of shit human beings that just have to go around and... I mean, it's like... It just blows my mind. And I mean, I'm counterculture. I'm a punk rocker. I get in the pit at shows. When I was a teenager, it's like, yeah, like I got into a little bit of shenanigans, but this level of, I mean, you have grown ass adults that are, I'm not going to call them, I mean, it's like they're only adults because of their age, but they act like, I don't even know children that would, they were tearing down. I mean, let's go ahead and jump to some of this. I mean, it just makes me mad. Look at this. Because of a fucking football game. Because of a sport. Because of a bunch of grown-ups in spandex playing grab ass. You guys act like this, you should get shot in the fucking face. Look at this. Like, are you fucking nuts? There's a whole ass light pole. Your tax dollars at work. Look at this. A bank. Anybody that's doing, I mean, that's fine if you're just having a good time and shouting, like that's great. But if you're setting fires, yeah, these cops, it should not be excessive force to beat these people in the face with your batons and shit. Like, kick their asses. Or else they're gonna think it's okay. Yeah, you know, it's all over the internet. A lot of the same kind of clips. You people are fucking disgusting. You are subhuman, okay? Let's see if YouTube will pull this down because, oh, you can't say someone is subhuman. You're not at the same level as the rest of us, okay? Anybody that would ever be involved with any of that shit, all right? That goes out to Antifa and Black Lives Matter protesters and, you know, far-right protesters, but it seems that they mind their P's and Q's. You know, whoever is handling them is telling them don't be violent, you know, like, you know, I mean, it's just disgusting. Like, I don't care what side you're on. This is never okay. Should never be acceptable. I don't know how many different kinds of ways to say this. People make me sick. President Trump released powerful ad in support of Secret Service prior to Super Bowl. Let's take a look at that.
America was founded on an idea of freedom. America's always stepped forward in time of need throughout our short but powerful history.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Tear down this wall.
We've been there for all of it.
150.
A second plane hit the tower.
Our heroes are humble. They have an inner pride to keep this idea alive. Protectors are born, they're not made. America's Secret Service protecting this Super Bowl is asking a few more to step forward.
Interesting.
America was...
I find it really interesting because there's a lot of debate about Secret Service standing down during the assassination attempt or not being capable enough, DEI hires, etc. It's interesting that he's focusing specifically on them with the Super Bowl ad. I'm wondering if there's going to be an audit of some sort to the Secret Service, and this is to perhaps get ahead of it. I'm curious. NFL runs cringeworthy Super Bowl ad of black female player humiliating men.
Let's go down to Aaron Andrews with the MVP of the Flag Football World Games.
Kevin, thanks so much. I am here with world champion Deanna Flores. And Deanna, you are so elusive. Is there anybody that can pull your flags?
Well, I'm sure someone can.
They're right here.
What?
Pull your flag! What are you doing?
Man, I'm trying to lock down the perimeter and you worried about sauce.
It's all about the sauce.
All units code red. We gotta run it. Come on, man. She got moves. hell no.
What's the play? I got this.
Housekeeping.
You gotta go higher.
Housekeeping.
That kind of hurt.
Mafia style. Nice.
Mamá, algo muy raro acaba de pasar.
Ay, princesa, te ves estresada. Respira tranquila. Ven, dame un abrazo.
Mamá.
Ana Alejandra Flores, ven acá o estás castigada.
To the women pushing football forward, we can't wait to see where you take this game, NFL. I'm so out of touch with these things, like, wow. It's interesting the things that they suggest, like, to me to watch on YouTube. That algorithm is, like, so cursed. I don't know. It's interesting. And then we got this one, too.
Let's settle this once and for all. Your best guy?
Girl.
Whatever. Versus our best guy. The Brad.
Oh, not the Brad. I'm Brad.
I can read.
There you go. You got folded up, Brad. Get her. Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's make girls flag football a varsity sport in all 50 states. NFLflag50.com. Okay, so like, yeah, they're really doing a push for female flag football. I mean, I have no problem with it. I don't know. They seem really upset about it over there at Infowars as like some kind of diversity thing, or you know, I mean, I don't know. Bigger fish to fry. But you know, if you want to play that sport, you know, is that your thing? Go for it. Taylor Swift looks confused as she is booed at the Super Bowl. Let's take a look. It's funny. It really is. There's a lot of commentary that she was doing this meme. I mean, nailed it. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Trump announces he's... this mouse again. Okay. Wow. I apologize, guys. If you want to help support this operation, I'm going to leave it on here for a couple minutes. You can go to thealexjonesstore.com, and we're actually one of their sponsors. So thealexjonesstore.com/DarkDox. Right now, they got the Atomic Defense, and I just tried this today. It just came in. It has oregano, cinnamon, turmeric, and garlic extract to help. Cumin extracts. There's some sea moss in here, and honey powder as well. Echinacea, cumin powder, biopurine. It's a powerhouse. And they smell like really good. I'm actually growing some oregano, and if you don't know, oregano's antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal. I actually use oregano oil when I make my own toothpaste sometimes. It kills any germs. And you know, small doses because it's very spicy. You can go, you know, a little bit goes a long way. So that's new over there at the InfoWarsStore.com. And I actually got a subscription. So, you know, I signed up for like, you know, monthly. They're going to send me a bottle of that stuff. $25. Can't beat it. Also, they got the sea moss gummies are out of stock, but they have the sea moss capsules. and those are twice as strong. And I've been taking the gummies, and I have the capsules on the way. It's fantastic energy, focus, helps with immune support, has bladderwrack and burdock root, great source of iodine, and also from the AlexJonesStore.com, we got the Ultimate Gut Cleanse that I've been taking, and I actually just take this every other day these days, but whenever you do take it, you're going to notice an uptick in your output, if you know what I'm saying, and I feel like it's just purging all the stuff that just stays trapped in your system, and helps with your gut biome. And since we're at it, I don't even get a sponsorship for this, but the Survival Shield X2 over at InfoWarsStore.com is currently 25% off. And, they're still taking orders over at InfoWarsStore.com as well as the AlexJonesStore.com/DarkDox. They also got the Brain Force Ultra. I really like this stuff. It has guarana seeds, green coffee bean, green tea leaves, yerba mate, ginkgo leaf, ashwagandha. And, it just helps with, it's like good clarity, focus. Like, if you wake, I'm not a morning person, so I just take a small shot of that. And it helps me with my focus. And, so I'm going to do another plug later. That was just an emergency plug so I could plug in this stupid mouse because apparently it's dying on me. And so Trump announces he's instructing Treasury Department to stop producing the penny. Apparently it takes 2 to 3 cents to make a penny. And Harrison Smith was really upset about this on the American Journal this morning. But honestly, I'd say let's just replace the penny, because of inflation. A penny used to be so much more. Let's replace the penny, with more cool dollar coins or how about a $5 coin? Maybe created out of a semi-precious metal. I don't know. I'm spitballing here. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. What else we got? WikiLeaks. On November 12th, 2024, the University of Minnesota Press published the book Cyber Libertarianism, the Right-Wing Politics of Digital Technology, which opposes those critical of censorship and mass surveillance, including Snowden and Greenwald and Assange. The author, David Columbia, who also wrote The Politics of Bitcoin Software as Right-Wing Extremism, has previously received at least $80,000 in direct U.S. government grants. UMN made no apparent attempt to fact-check the book, which is now on the reading list of 2 courses at the University of Southern California and Duke. Yeah, don't do that. And follow WikiLeaks if you're on X. Yeah. Bill Gates is a clear and present danger. John Bound report. Let's see what's going on with Bill Gates.
Neil Young is a tool of the cult of the left. What kind of an ass writes a song called Keep On Rockin' in the Free World and proceeds to become the loathsome antithesis of the song?
Comfortably numb is uncomfortably dumb, and Neil Young's the poster child for that. I mean, rocking in the free world, but he wants to censor people? Hey, Neil, choose one. You can't do both, you dirtbag.
But it must be evident to all of you. You must all know half a dozen people at least who are no use in this world, who are more trouble than they are worth. I think it would be a good thing to make everybody come before a properly appointed board and say every 5 years or every 7 years, just put him there and say, sir or madam, now will you be kind enough to justify your existence?
I'm a human being. I exist. And if I speak one thought aloud, that thought lives even after I'm shoveled into my grave.
the last 30 years told us they would use the fear of a deadly virus to take control and basically bring in permanent martial law. And now they have the big tech in place, now they have the contact tracing in place, now they have the excuse to make you all get used to getting permission to leave your house. It's happening.
Before COVID, you say you spent the most sleepless nights worrying about pandemics. After COVID, has that changed? And if it has, what keeps you up now? Because we all need to know.
Yeah, the pandemic, sadly, was fairly predictable, and it won't be the last pandemic. The next one could be far more severe. I mean, this one, it killed millions. It was awful. We got the vaccine. You know, actually, President Trump's leadership was a factor in getting that out quickly, and so when I spoke to him, I said, okay, here's some other medical innovations, including a thing called an HIV cure that could be accelerated. So, we should be more prepared, both for a pandemic. I'd say that's still number one. You can worry about nuclear war. You can worry about AI.
This
There's
sounds like
plenty to worry about. But
do you
overall,
sleep
I'm
at
an
all?
optimist. We should have free speech, but if you're inciting violence, if you're causing people not to take vaccines, where are those boundaries that even the U.S. Should, have rules? And then if you have rules, what is it? Is there some AI that encodes those rules because you have billions of activity and, if you catch it a day later, the harm is done?
In my medical opinion, these are the most toxic pharmaceutical products that have ever been released on the market. And, of course, most profitable. As we heard from Dr. Julie Paness, Pfizer last year made revenues of over $100 billion. That's just Pfizer. That doesn't include Moderna. That doesn't include BioNTech. Of course, you had AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and so on. This is a multi-$100 billion industry. And it seems that nobody cares how many people get hurt, how many people get injured, how many people die. And to give you an idea for the scale of the vaccine injuries, 10 to 15%, this is straight out of CDC, vSafe data, where people were actually recording their side effects into an app. About 10 million people, they didn't want to release the data, they were forced to release it. About 10 to 15% have had a serious injury. About 1% have been permanently disabled. This is coming out of US insurance data. Edward Dowd has been reporting on this. And about 0.1% have died. These are excess deaths that are unexplainable. And 0.1% may not sound like a lot, but that's 1 in 1,000.
Why did it take numerous legal demands, multiple appeals, 2 lawsuits, in fact, before the CDC finally handed over the vSafe data, which is already de-identified data for the most part that they provided just 2 days ago, 144 million lines of code that they could have provided in a matter of minutes at any point. Now that we have the data, we could see that getting the vaccine caused 25% of people who got the shot within this data set of 10 million people to miss work, to have some serious event affecting their normal life functions.
John Bound reporting for Infowars.com.
It's February 2025. We now have our 3rd incredible off-road vehicle sweepstakes. It's gone live. And for the first week of the offering, everybody that spends even $1 at thealexjonesstore.com, getting the very best supplements, the widest selection of Patriot apparel, collectible knives, and more, will get 10x entries to win in the new sweepstakes that'll be announced in 2 months. We've already given away 2 super off-road vehicles. Ladies and gentlemen, this is funding the Second American Revolution worldwide. You're getting great products that empower you and make you healthier and wealthier and wiser, and Patriot apparel that helps spread the word and meet like-minded people. It is a win-win for everybody, and people love these sweepstakes. So this is the hottest, coolest, most powerful off-road Bronco you can get. I absolutely love it, and I can't wait, coming up in a few months, to meet the winner of this beauty. So go to thealexjonesstore.com
That thing looks awesome. I'm not going to lie. I love my Owlmobile, but Yeah, one more reason to help support thealexjonesstore.com/DarkDox. We get 10% of anything you buy, and we greatly appreciate that to help this operation that is a small, very small part, a satellite, if you will, of, Infowars and everybody else that's, helped get us here. And, I mean, could you imagine if Kamala Harris and Tim Walz were president and vice president right now? Imagine, just for a second. Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Breitbart, all of those people in independent media helped get Trump elected, and now we have Doge. Now we have all of this USAID funding being exposed. It's good to be on the winning side and the righteous side for a change, I would say. Nobody's perfect. This guy knows it. Historic breaking bombshell. The Democratic Party as a political force is officially dead. This is a pretty good video here.
This political party, the Democratic Party, have lied to us about everything. They've lied about being the party of the middle class. They've lied about being the party of peace. They've lied about being the party that wants to help poor people. Okay? What the last several weeks have proven to us all is that this is a cadre of criminals and losers and spoiled children of affluent parents who were more concerned about looking good than actually doing good. These are people who were more concerned about looking like they were doing something for the American people than actually doing things for the American people. And that's why I'm so angry. Because this party lied to me while stealing my tax dollars. The Democratic Party lied to us all while they brought in millions of illegal immigrants for their own political purposes for the last 4 years. 20 to 30 million illegal aliens brought in. And now we come to USAID being probably the largest money laundering operation in American history. Congratulations, Dems. You've outdone even Bernie Madoff. I'm disgusted beyond words. Disgusted with the waste of money. Disgusted with the waste, with the fraud. With the way that you people use color legitimacy, and the way you use black people as mules to get us to push whatever agenda you wanted to. The amount of division you used black people to sow upon the American people, you used us for that. And I will never, ever forgive this political party that I've gone through personally. Y'all were supposed to be the party of free speech, the party of women's rights. You have immolated all of those things. And then, as if enough weren't enough, you then decide that you're going to die on the hill of USAID, a government audit. You're trying to prevent a government audit because some of you really are trying to stay out of prison. We see the game now. Y'all been out here telling us that the game was rigged against certain people. Well, now we found out who the people that were rigging the game were. Congratulations. Y'all are never going to win another political race ever again. Not if I can help it.
Yes. Woo!
Yeah, that was so solid. I just want to give him a shout out. The Doge was blocking his. On X, he is Isaiah Carter, Isaiah L. Carter. In fact, you know what? Because we do it live. right? Let's go find him. Isaiah L. Carter. Bam! On the first try. Follow that guy. That was so awesome. All right. Yes, this is something from last week that I wanted to touch on. FreeRogerNow.org, Bitcoin Jesus, the prosecution of Roger Ver. It's a 20-minute documentary on FreeRogerNow.org. I'm going to play the first little bits of it in case you are not familiar with this case.
My name is Roger Ver, and I'm 45 years old. I was born in America, but several years ago, I made the difficult decision to renounce my citizenship. For more than 2 decades, I've been relentlessly targeted by the U.S. government. Now I'm facing the possibility of spending the rest of my life in prison, up to 109 years, for crimes I did not commit. This is my story.
WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange faced up to 175 years in prison.
John McAfee had just been ordered extradited to the United States on tax evasion charges.
Donald J. Trump arrested, fingerprinted, and charged with 34 felony counts.
And this case really is lawfare at its worst.
We are clearly in a political lawfare environment.
The US government don't really like it when someone stands up to them in any way, shape, or form.
Lawfare isn't new. Lawfare has been happening for decades. At the time that the war against Roger began 25 years ago, he was one of the only ones, and very few Americans were aware this was happening. But now, lawfare has reached to the highest levels. My name is Tracy Thurman. It's a little hard to describe what I do. I come in on cases where people are facing lawfare, and I do everything I can to help them. I only take cases I believe in, and I only take cases that I care about. Roger's case is one of those.
You grew up in Silicon Valley. What was that like, and what was your family like?
And I'll wish whoever does the editing good luck with chopping all this together as well. So I grew up in Silicon Valley, and as a teenager I ran one of the most popular BBSs, that stands for Bulletin Board System, which
Yeah, so it's a really interesting story. He was on the Alex Jones store doing an hour, I think on Thursday or Friday. But yeah, definitely look into him. It's a wild story, and it's this weaponized justice system that if you say any it's all because he said that the people who killed children in Waco, Texas, in the whole Waco ordeal, the FBI agents, he said they were fucking murderers and it was disgusting. And so they pretty much threw the book at him over fireworks sales. I mean, it was a really disgusting case, and they're continuing to screw with this guy. So, check it out. Also, I put link in the description, brownstone.org article, why Roger Ver deserves a presidential pardon from Brownstone University. In other news, Gavin Newsom to victims of California fires: you can't rebuild the same, have to rebuild with climate reality in mind. Let's watch.
You previously mentioned the timeline for rebuilding would be 6 to 9 months. Is that going to happen? And should people rebuild in some parts of California, given how high the fire risk is?
Yeah, you can't rebuild the same. So we have to rebuild with science. We have to build with climate reality in mind. We have to look at infrastructure, redundancy, systems, ingress, egress as it relates to emergency management and planning, materials. All of that is being reviewed and reconsidered, and with the latest iterations in terms of understanding and technology. And I say technology in the context of how, again, we build the infrastructure to keep it safe, to address undergrounding of lines, how we address the larger issues of redundancy in terms of systems. But more important than anything else is the need to get the debris removed. 30 days to do the hazardous waste. We want to get 6 to 9 months the rest of the debris done. Concurrently, people are getting
6 to 9
this is all
months? Are you
happening,
kidding
rolling
me?
Together, and we want to see construction very shortly. And in the next few years, we want to see hundreds, thousands of homes rebuilt.
But I think there's a big question about how do some Californians do that, right? You have State Farm announcing that it has an average 22% interim rate hike for homeowners. The fair insurance plan for the state is just bogged down right now. Your dad, I believe, is on that plan, if I recall. Californians are saying they're not getting the help they need from FAIR. It's really confusing.
Well, FAIR's not a state plan. It's not a taxpayer-funded plan. It's a syndicate pool run by the insurance market itself. And it's the insurer of last resort. And it's existed back to Ronald Reagan in 1968. As it relates to that plan and their exposure, they have reinsurance, a significant amount of reinsurance. We feel strongly at this moment, and again, this changes in real time, that the plan will be able to absorb the losses ultimately. Now, as it relates to the larger issue of the insurance market, not unique to California by any stretch of the imagination, what's happening with insurance, and this is the reality, the new reality of extremes, extreme heat, extreme drought. You have droughts and rain bombs. You have flooding at the same time you're dealing with droughts, all happening concurrently. There's a new reality, the world we're living in. And if you're not believing science, you have to believe your own eyes, your own lived experience. And the reality is the insurance market understands it better than anyone else. The market and Mother Nature's are going to have to change the way we live and do business in the context of how we plan, how we do land use, zoning into the future along the lines of your question. We have to wake up to this reality. We cannot be in denial about what's going on with Mother Nature, again, around the globe, not just in the state of California.
Just to sort of pin you down, what does that mean for the rebuilding in some of these high-risk areas?
Just more sophisticated design and planning. Remember, Altadena, many of those homes were done in the 20s and 30s and 40s for a world that no longer exists from a climate perspective. And so the ability to absorb a deeper understanding as you rebuild it presents itself anew in a profound and, we hope, impactful way. So I'm concerned about it, but I'm not concerned about our resourcefulness to address it with the most modern standards anywhere in the world. By the way, California leads the nation already in building zoning standards. Our ability now to take it to the next level, to be a model for the rest of the country, presents itself.
It's just disgusting. I mean, no accountability for, the mishaps with the water and not trimming back the brush. All right, I'm going to speed through some of this because I was slowed down by the whole mouse situation. Adam Carolla explains how the California fires will change the politics in the state. Let's see what he has to say.
The guys who lost their $20 million homes on the ocean side of PCH will be knee-deep in the permit process. They will be trying to pull permits when the guys in the Winnebagos will have been back for months before those guys ever get a permit. As a matter of fact, good fucking luck. Because here's the deal. Alan Hamill and Suzanne Summers moved because they could not get a permit to rebuild their home of 40 years on the ocean on PCH, right? So here's what's going to happen. Let me just give you guys a little primer of what's going to happen. You know how Bill Maher seems real conservative now when he's like arguing with Jane Fonda about regulations, too many regulations, like strangling everything? Because remember, when Bill Maher tried to put solar in his house in Beverly Hills, that's when he turned against the government, because he saw what the government and the overreach of government and overregulation does. He got strangled. It took him 3 years to build a solar shack. He had a whole countdown on his show, day 1,000 since I've got my permit for my solar. He turned. Okay. The people who live in Malibu, who live in Santa Monica, who live in the Palisades, those are some of the most progressive blue voters in the world, or in the United States. They are a bastion of blue. So what those guys did is, all the people in the Palisades, I checked it out. It's about 80% blue, 80% progressive, 80% Democrat. Now, these pussies are all sitting around crying about Karen Bass, water pressure, how come the forest wasn't cleared of all the brush, what's happening with the infrastructure. You guys all voted for Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. You all voted for Gavin Newsom. And now you fucking get what you get. Oh, now that your house is on fire, well, now you're thinking about something else. Now you want to know what's going on. What's going on around here? You didn't give a shit about what was going on when other people's houses were on fire, but now you care. So here's what's going to happen. All these people who were deep blue Democrats are now going to have to pull a permit to rebuild. And they're going to get the 28-year-old bitch from the Coastal Commission telling them to go fuck off. And then they're going to vote for Trump or whoever's Trumpian next. You see, they're going to get turned. They're going to get turned hard because, as I've always said, live in the rent control apartment in Santa Monica, fine, good. We know how you vote. Go deal with the city. Try to pull a permit. These are going to be thousands of homes, super wealthy people, and these people don't want to live in Van Nuys. They like it where they are. They love Malibu. They love the Palisades. They love Santa Monica. There's going to be a whole bunch of rich people, and they're going to go, I'm rebuilding, and I want to rebuild as fast as I can. And between the part where they go in to planning commission and plan check and initially and try to pull a permit to the time the first load of lumber, the first load of 2x4s is dropped off on their lot where their house formerly stood, it's going to be 3 years. And 1,000 permits and 1,000 arguments and 1,000 discussions with the Coastal Commission, not to mention little tidbits that they didn't think about, like Carson Daly. You want a swimming pool? Yep. Got to be double hulled. Really? Yeah. Well, why? Well, what if water leaches out and gets into the groundwater table? Carson Daly had to build a swimming pool like a modern day oil tanker. Had to be like a double hulled. That's all right. It'll just cost $500,000 for a swimming pool. Like that, they're going to be, when they start getting the regulation, they're going to go nuts. And when they start running into the bureaucracy and the red tape, they're going to start going nuts, and they're going to vote for Rick Caruso next time because they want to get. That's all Trump says is we're going to pull back the regulations. We're going to free people up. They're going to find out. They're going to get bit by their own snake. They're going to convert. I am telling you, these are the bluest people on the planet, and they're going to be fucking ripshit pissed when the city and the Coastal Commission tell them to fuck off. And by the way, I don't think the Coastal Commission is going to okay anyone rebuilding any of their houses on the coast because they say they're in the business of protecting the coast. They're in the business of getting you to leave. They will get their wish, which is no buildings. And they're going to make it hard for everyone. And then we're going to have to restructure the whole thing because we can't have 9 angry lesbians controlling everything that goes on in Malibu, the Palisades, and Santa Monica. The guys...
He's an American treasure. Right now at the AlexJonesStore.com, you get 20% off just by entering your email, 25% off shirts and hoodies, 10% off all hats, and 20% or more off of all supplements. And I already plugged enough. So definitely check out the AlexJonesStore.com/DarkDox. Help our operation here. Also, the hey Doge, you got work to do. What are you doing? Go. At darkdox.me/shop for a limited time only, we have projectors. We have MP4 players with micro SD cards with all of the Alex Jones Infowars films, the DarkDox films, Zeitgeist, Esoteric Agenda, all the William Cooper, Jordan Maxwell stuff. Amazing. It's an amazing archive we have here at DarkDox. And we got Trump buttons, we got thumb drives with all that stuff, we got vinyl records, we got vinyl stickers, we got t-shirts, we got Blu-rays, we got comic books. Please pick something up and help out our operations. And I'll throw in some goodies. We got shop rags, which are pretty cool, at darkdox.me/shop. And here's another John Bound report. He's just been like knocking them out of the park. How does Peter Strzok hubris look now?
We did a number of texts. All of the texts
Mendo Brendo
presented to us, as far as I know, came from
Hey,
your
Holistic
government
Empire.
phone, correct?
I believe that to be the case, yes.
So you've made no text available from your private phone, is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you ever text on your private phone?
I did.
Did you ever text Lisa Page on your private phone?
I did.
March 4th, 2016.
You want me to read this?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. OMG, he's an idiot.
July 19th, 2016.
Hi, how was Trump other than a douche? Melania?
July 21st, 2016.
Trump is a disaster. I have no idea how destabilizing his presidency would be.
And I'll preface it by saying this for context. Ms. Page said, not ever going to become president, right? Right?
No, he's not. We'll stop it.
Repeat that again.
No, he's not. We'll stop it.
August 15th, 2016.
I want to believe the path you threw out for consideration in Andy's office, that there's no way he gets elected, but I'm afraid we can't take that risk. It's like an insurance policy in the unlikely event you die before you're 40.
Opposing views of how Americans comprehend the blatant bias conducted by former FBI investigator Peter Strzok was met with total chaos.
Mr. Strzok, the way you do, saying the things you did, you'd been better off coming in here and say, look, that was my bias. And you kind of get around to that a little bit when you say, hey, everybody's got political views. Those are called biases. And we all have them, and you have come in here and said, I had no bias. And you do it with a straight face. And I watched you in the private testimony you gave, and I told some of the other guys, he is really good. He's lying. We know he's lying, and he could probably pass a polygraph.
FBI Director Christopher Wray assumed the office in 2017. Since then, he has continuously failed and embarrassed the American people.
And I'm especially sorry that there were people at the FBI who had their own chance to stop this monster back in 2015 and failed. And that is inexcusable. It never should have happened, and we're doing everything in our power to make sure it never happens again.
Wray's predecessors include Andrew McCabe, who lied under oath.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you about give this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
James Comey, who protected the Clinton crime family.
The organization was in disarray, that it was poorly led, that the workforce had lost confidence in its leader.
And Robert Mueller, who fueled an impeachment scam of epic proportions.
In one of these meetings, Mr. Papadopoulos is talking to a foreign diplomat, and he tells the diplomat, Russians have dirt on Clinton. That diplomat then contacts the FBI, and the FBI opens an investigation based on that fact. You point this out on page 1 of the report.
While local agents track down serial killers, the top brass of the FBI wage a war on patriotism.
I tell you what, the American people are not stupid. We can see it with our own eyes, the difference in the treatment from our federal government because of someone's political beliefs. And that's regardless of how the news media tries to spin it or what they tell you.
The political leadership in this country, it's a dirty secret, okay? When you're upset about a political problem and you're angry, they actually want you to do what happened on January 6th. They want violence from us. They want us to cross the line. They want us to destroy property. They want us angry. Because when you break the law, they can deal with you very easily.
You would agree, would you not, that both investigations were supposed to be fair and unbiased?
Yes, and that they were.
Yet you were both rooting for Hillary Clinton to win, and you both detested Donald Trump. Did you not?
I think that's fair to say.
Okay. And in fact, as we've learned, you apparently found Donald Trump supporters detestable too, like those around Loudon, Virginia, as we've already heard, whom you called ignorant blanks. I'm not going to say that here. And that you had visited a Southern Virginia Walmart and could smell the Trump support. Now, I have to say, when I read those communications and when I hear them here,
smells like victory.
Those between the two of you, specifically what you had to say about Trump supporters, it reminded me of something that Hillary Clinton had said about Trump supporters. She found them, what did she call them? Deplorables.
Are the American people supposed to accept Strzok's insistence that he showed no bias? And should we accept the Democrats' hypocrisy in defending that bias?
That
to continue to say Strzok was in no way biased is the same as selling beachfront property on Mars. John Bound reporting for Infowars.com.
Yeah. You can tell who's the good guys and who's the bad guys. It's on their face. Like, they either look evil or they look friendly. Which one is it? Which one is it? Operation Mockingbird, Representative Anna Paulina Luna pushes Doge to expose CIA control over U.S. media propaganda machine. For real. Short clip.
So we know now that USAID was funding so many news outlets, to include the BBC. So I want to remind people, remember that Project Mockingbird that was declassified was actually a CIA op during the Cold War to actually use media to influence people, to include the American people. So are we surprised that USAID, which is also doing a lot of the dirty work for the intelligence agencies, was caught red-handed funding massive propaganda outlets, not just in the United States, but across the world? No, we're not surprised at all. However, does it need to continue? Absolutely not, which is exactly why it's really important that Doge continues the work that it needs to be doing. Now, I just want to be clear about something. I absolutely think that what Elon specifically is doing is dangerous, probably to his life, because he's pissing off a lot of people. But he has the security and he has the ability to do it, so continue. Onward, onward, onward.
Yeah, so what she's referring to here is, if you look up Project Mockingbird, there's a bunch of, it's a CIA program where, it's a threat to our democracy. It's a threat to our democracy, and you hear it like on every channel. That's Project Mockingbird, where like they have these talking points that the CIA gives their embedded journalists, and they just repeat it on all of the different syndicates and subsidiaries. Elon Musk claims FEMA sent $59 million last week to luxury. This pisses me off when they do this. New York Post. Elon Musk didn't claim. He found through the Doge investigation. Like, a claim seems like, I think that ham sandwiches are jealous of me. Like, that's a claim, because it's baseless. It's something that's just my idea. You see how this works? Hey, Doge, get back to work. Claims $59 million last week to luxury New York City hotels for illegal migrants, but City Hall says there's more to the story.
Elon Musk has accused the Federal Emergency Management Agency of diverting funds meant for American disaster relief. According to Musk, FEMA sent a staggering $59 million to luxury hotels in New York City to house illegal migrants, a move he says violates the president's executive order and is a gross misuse of taxpayer money. Musk claimed that his Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, recently uncovered the funds and vowed that a clawback demand will be made to recoup the money. This controversy comes as the Trump administration intensifies efforts to overhaul FEMA. Last month, President Trump signed an executive order establishing a council to review the agency amid concerns over political bias. The new directive calls for the council's first meeting within 90 days and requires a report of its
All right, I can hardly hear this. I mean, do better with your volume. Come on, guys. Yeah. I'm entitled to know President Trump orders Secret Service to provide every bit of information on his would-be assassins. Why hasn't he gotten this already? And what's really interesting is when you look up the FBI.gov press releases on Butler investigation updates, They stopped updates in July of last year. So we can't get into his cell phone. There's a password. That's kind of like where they left off. So I'm telling you, that ad for the Super Bowl had something to do with this. Chicago Children's Hospital pauses child sex change surgeries following the Trump executive order. Lurie Children's Hospital of Chicago is pausing all sex change surgeries for patients under 19, but I thought that wasn't happening, but they're pausing it. In response to President Trump's executive order regarding transgender medical treatment for minors. In a statement Monday, the hospital said it is reviewing the executive order and assigning any potential impact on its clinical services. We are reviewing the recent executive orders, addressing gender care, and assessing any potential impact to the clinical services we offer our patient families. Our team will continue to advocate for access to medically necessary, no, it's not care. It's not care. It's the opposite of care. It's cutting off body parts of children who cannot consent to these kinds of things. Sometimes behind the parents' backs. Grounded in science and compassion. Fuck, I can't even... makes me so mad. But good. I'm glad they're stopping the thing that they said that they weren't doing in the first place. Scumbags. He hasn't been posting a lot lately. Let's see what the old Paul Joseph Watson has to do.
So I used to be married. Well, I still am married. I'm going through a divorce. I'm currently separated.
But it wasn't because she began to challenge Genghis Khan himself for the all-time world record of sexual partners.
I saw a lot of articles saying, oh, I'm now getting a divorce because I've slept with over 1,000 men. And that is not the case. That we've been separated for a long, long time now.
Yeah, I'm sure it had nothing whatsoever to do with your craven infidelity, love. I guess they were just emotionally incompatible.
And he's still very much supportive and very proud. Because I have seen articles which say he doesn't associate himself with me, and that's not the case. We've still got a very close relationship.
So he's supportive of you and your work as well?
Beyond supportive, yeah.
Someone called Guinness, we've just uncovered the biggest cuck of all time. But it gets worse, he's literally on the payroll.
He just works in the team, helps me overlook things. So yeah, we still work together.
Don't be a cuck. It's not a good look, man. Congress spent over $500 billion in expired programs last year without authorization. Here are the full details. Sheesh. Everything from agriculture, armed services, education, and the workforce. I mean, they're just raping us. Look at this. Goes on and on. Link in description. Gateway Pundit. What is it? 904? I still have so many tabs. I'm just gonna power through these. But yeah, so much is going on. So check out all the links to all these things in the description if you're interested more. Elon Musk exposes $100 billion in annual entitlement payments to individuals without social security numbers, IDs. Warns half could be fraudulent. Yep. The Treasury is estimated to have 23.87% of its budget being used in a fraudulent or wasteful fashion. Treasury at 23.87%, Labor at 11.68%, Veterans Affairs 10%, Agriculture 9%, and it goes down from there. That's the Rabbit Hole 84 on X. Tulsi Gabbard survives Senate committee votes. See where that is.
You now say that you are agreeing. I'm not shocked because I know you said it. You are agreeing that you basically said that Putin was justified in rolling over the peaceful border of Ukraine, the first time since World War II that a free nation had been invaded by a totalitarian state, and you were there at 11:30 p.m. that night
into the mic
to say that you were with them, not us. And let me tell you something. You say you don't know because you don't read Russian propaganda. Russian state TV then aired your comments. Did you know that?
Senator, I think you should also quote the statement that I made criticizing Putin for his invasion of Ukraine.
What I would say, Mr. Chairman, with the last, it's up to all of us. We're the Senate. We get to decide whether we're going to confirm this nominee. Obviously, we didn't select this nominee. But can't we do better than somebody who doesn't believe in 702? Can't we believe that somebody who can't answer whether Snowden was a traitor 5 times today, who made excuses for Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, the first time that I'm aware of?
Yeah, so there's 5 to 1,000 hours of that going on. You know, God bless Tulsi for sitting through. Shouldn't be allowed. Like, this is ridiculous. Trump administration files emergency motion to vacate Treasury restraining order, asserts no court can sever presidential supervision mandate by Article 2. What's this about? The Trump administration has filed why do they do this? The order egregiously interferes with the executive branch's operations by limiting access to crucial Treasury Department systems. On Saturday, Obama appointee Judge Paul A. Engelmayer included an ex parte temporary restraining order that restricted access to Treasury systems exclusively to civil servants, explicitly excluding all political appointees from accessing these systems. Ex parte means that Trump administration lawyers weren't given notice, weren't allowed to argue, and weren't even in the room. Only Democrat attorneys general were heard, ensuring a predetermined outcome. How is that constitutional? Here's the scumbag. Look at this guy. Again, you know who the bad guys are. The ones that look like they pay for sex. Obama judge banned Treasury Secretary Bessent from accessing his agency's data. Federal Judge Paul Engelmayer ordered that President Trump and each of his appointees were forbidden from accessing Treasury Department data without even allowing the president's lawyer to be lawyers to appear or comment. That should not be legal. I don't get it. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem blasts FBI as corrupt, appears to accuse Bureau of leaking information on large-scale ICE raids. I will not disable my ad blocker.
New Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem visiting North Carolina today. She got a first-hand look at recovery efforts after Hurricane Helene. Noem had good things to say about FEMA. That's despite President Trump considering eliminating the agency altogether. Fox News correspondent Madison Scarpino has the details.
It's been almost 5 months since Helene destroyed parts of western North Carolina, and Secretary Noem got a first-hand look at just some of the destruction on Saturday.
I had a chance to witness firsthand just the resiliency of this community and the resiliency of people in this state. Hurricane Helene was one of the worst natural disasters that this country has ever experienced.
Noem and Hamilton say FEMA is dissecting everything to make sure their response to disasters is faster and more efficient. Secretary Noem also spent the day meeting survivors and getting their advice on what more the feds can do to help. This comes as President Trump is criticizing FEMA for its response to Helene and said he's considering getting rid of the agency altogether. Saturday, Noem says President Trump created a task force to address how to improve the agency. But Secretary Noem says there are some survivors who had a good experience with FEMA, and the agency says it continues to help over 150,000 families in the region.
FEMA is taking a new approach on ensuring that everything we do comes from the survivor perspective. everything and every effort that we engage in has to have that focus at the forefront.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy is set to be in Western North Carolina on Monday to survey some of the damage Helene caused to I-40. In Atlanta, Madison Scarpino, Fox News.
Thanks, Madison. What else we got here? Pedophile who killed young girl may have his sentence reduced due to German government's decisions to lower penalties for child pornography possession. What? A man convicted of brutal murder of a 14-year-old girl may have his sentence reduced as a result of German federal government's decision to downgrade the criminal severity of child pornography possession. The convict successfully argued that the portion of his sentence related to producing child pornography should be reconsidered due to the shocking change in the law. But he murdered her. Due to stringent privacy laws in Germany, the identity of the murderer has been concealed by local press, but Redux has chosen to reveal his identity as Jan Heiko Fleur, 32. Look at this fucking piece of shit. Murdered that girl right there. In September 2023, Fleur was convicted of murdering a 14-year-old schoolgirl and procuring child pornography. At the time, the court only sentenced him to life imprisonment for the murder, but also declared him to be a particularly serious offender and ordered him to remain in preventative detention after serving the custodial portion of his sentence. Am I taking crazy pills? I mean, like, you throw them in the wood chipper. You shoot them in the face. You cut their heads off. Piss down the neck hole. The fuck is wrong with you, Germany? Ex-Israel Army chief admits using Hannibal Directive against its own soldiers. This Hannibal Directive allows the use of force even at the risk of killing hostages to prevent captives from falling into enemy hands. Slave to Liberty, San Diego protests something?
What do you want to say to Elon Musk?
Get the hell out of our country, motherfucker!
We're gonna capture the Democrats in the world.
Can't say that to Mexicans,
We've got
though,
a
right?
bunch of them right here, right now.
South Americans.
We can see them. They're carrying their signs.
The Chinese.
They want to impeach Donald Trump. It's gonna be amazing. Let's go in. Chinga tu maga! Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Elon Musk has got to go. Hey, hey. Fight ignorance, not immigrants. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Ho, ho. Donald Trump. Oh, Elon Musk. Elon.
Hey.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
What do you want to say to Elon Musk?
Get the hell out of our country, motherfucker!
Oh, you're gonna deport Elon!
Deport his ass! He's got nothing good for our country.
Did he break the law? Did he?
Yes, he totally broke the law. The constitutional law of Congress controlling and appropriating funds based on the people's votes.
Oh. Did
These people don't know
create the
anything.
agency, though, yeah?
Oh my god. Matt Baker, he's a saint for going out and doing that. But yeah, that's over at band.video, Slave for Liberty. Check out his channel. Does some cool stuff. Chucky Schumer posted, "To our brave public servants, your courage in stepping forward as whistleblowers to expose corruption and misconduct is essential in preserving the integrity of our democratic institutions." We're a republic. We're not a democracy. We do not have democratic institutions. And you're a criminal. and you're covering up for criminals. Fuck you and all of the Senate Democrats. TMZ. Kendrick didn't go there, says pedophile line could trigger another lawsuit. Yeah, so everyone knows the lyric and they all sang along, apparently. I want to perform my favorite song, but you know, they love to sue. These guys are looking rough. They should take the X2 from Infowarsstore.com. So you have a nice complexion. I mean, seriously, these are the guys of TMZ. They look like shit. Just saying, like. And I got like terrible. I got up lighting, so that's why I'm all like, you know. But like, come on, do better. If you're on X, please follow us at /Sacred Owls Unite. And if you're on Rumble, we're at DarkDox, BitChute, DarkDox, and I'm working on a new DarkDox.com. It's in the works. And that does it for today's episode? No, we have some shorts. Let's see what we got here.
Like, I don't know if you saw this, but Elizabeth Warren got confronted.
Big Pharma since 2020, the reason why you don't want RFK Jr. suing Big Pharma?
She got confronted about the amount of money that she's received from pharmaceutical drug companies. She said she's never received any money from pharmaceutical drug companies and never received any monies from any PACs.
I don't take contributions from Big Pharma executives. I don't take any corporate PAC money, and you and your allies already know that.
And then, of course, underneath it, Community Notes strikes again. And, of course, she received millions. She's a liar.
You're asking me not to sue vaccine pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, you are. That's exactly what you're doing.
You know, it's an arms race. You know, how can pharma cloak the money that it's giving so that there's plausible deniability at the point that Elizabeth Warren is confronted or Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders was hilarious.
Only 1.5 billion. Only 1.5 million out of 200 million. Only 1.5. Only the hardworking people. The hard-working people in this country gave me money.
Like, I don't know if you saw that.
This Bernie is on point. Comedian schools heckling audience member.
Imagine heckling Cat Williams in the middle of his show and not
Williams.
expecting to get absolutely roasted.
No, this ain't Mexico. It used to be Mexico, mother. And now it's Phoenix, goddammit. I bet you don't leave here and go to Mexico, mother. Motherfuckers think they can live in this country and then still be allegiance to another fucking country. If you love Mexico, get the over there. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what's so...
Imagine heckling Cat Williams in the middle of his show.
Based. Speaker Mike Johnson ripped Democrats in their own words.
I want to start this morning by addressing a few things we've heard this week from our Democrat colleagues. It's been pretty surprising. Here's a few quotes. Shut down the city. We are at war. We're going to fight it in the streets, it was said. This is what the beginning of a dictatorship looks like. This is their reaction to the flurry of activity that's come out of the new administration, and the president is doing exactly what he said on the campaign trail that he is going to do, would do. And he's delivering on that, and we're a big part of that, and we're going to do it as well. Meanwhile, the Democratic Party truly is seemingly lost. They have no rudder, they have no vision, they have no clear leader. The only message they have is anti-President Trump, and we've all seen that that's a failed strategy time after time. I want to start this morning by addressing a few things we've heard this week from our Democrat colleagues. It's been pretty surprising.
I just love how, like, you know, they will bitch and moan and cry about January 6th was worse than 9/11 in Pearl Harbor, which is so offensive. But they're completely silent about the Summer of Love, the George Floyd riots, all the Black Lives Matter and Antifa stuff that has been happening for all these years now. Arsonists in California starting those California wildfires. Hundreds of them. And now they're calling for violence again, but yet the right wing is... white supremacy is the real problem here. Gill on the amendment proposed by DCA to investigate Elon Musk's relationship with Trump.
I also find it rich that all of the sudden the other side has some problem with successful businessmen being involved in politics whenever you guys are the party of George Soros, of Bill and Melinda Gates, of Sheryl Sandberg, of Mackenzie Bezos, of Taylor Swift, of so many other billionaires across the country, as well as every woke, weird pervert in Hollywood. I find this incredibly disingenuous. I think the reality is that the Republican Party under President Trump has a very clear mandate from voters, and you guys don't like it because voters rejected everything you stand for and every policy that you've shoved down the American people's throats over the past 4 years, whether it's open borders, a failing economy, raging inflation, this weird woke stuff that you guys have been shoving down our children's throats, and the voters rejected you and they welcomed our party. I also find it rich that all of the sudden the other side has...
Amen. I'll leave that one alone for now. India, the world's largest floating solar power plant, is left in complete ruins after just a single spell of bad weather. This was from Catman Don't on the DarkDox Network. Wow. What a disaster. What a waste of money. Holy shit. Oh, man. I would kill for just one of those things on my van. LA protests versus LAPD.
Breaking news, right now there are huge protests going on down in LA against the mass deportations in this country. And they have taken over the 101 freeway. Like, there are a lot of people involved with this thing right now. But as always with these things, it is only a matter of time until law enforcement gets involved. And the LAPD has now arrived on scene to shut this whole thing down. Now, it is legal to protest peaceably in this country, but when you start blockading traffic, I think that there's a lot that you need to consider, like the fact that there might be people who need to get to the hospital. You might be doing actual harm to citizens that's just absolute collateral damage. And I understand
they know. They don't care.
Disrupting things is part of the protest. I 100% get that. But like, why are you doing things that would affect your fellow citizens that are not against you? Why wouldn't you go and protest right outside the police station? Don't let them get their cars out. Whenever protests do things like this that disrupt normal citizens' lives in ways that could have really negative effects, you're turning the people against your cause. And this is where peaceful protests quickly take a turn into becoming violent riots where everybody ends up getting hurt. Well, what's your guys' take on this whole thing? Let me know down in the comments. Breaking news, right now there...
Because they ain't us, that's why. They ain't us. And they want to destroy everything. They hate themselves. They hate us. They hate innocent people. They hate children. They hate God. They hate themselves. That about does it for today. So we are going to go to outer space and then come all the way back down to SeaWorld. Doge, get back to work. Woo! I made it. A little long today, but that's all right. I figure Mondays are going to be a little long because we do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at youtube.com/Sacred Owls. This is Christian Coffins saying, beware, take care. I'm going to go charge my mouse. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.
This is Jersey Joe, and you're listening to the DarkDox Digest. D-Cubed. With your host, Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.